Hey, welcome in. FG here. So I'm really actually kind of excited. This is the first package I've gotten for the year. So these will be my first coins. And I know there's two coins in here. I bought this from the same dealer on eBay. So they shipped them together. And one of them is going to be kind of a interesting coin for the World Silver Book. So we're going to look at that coin tomorrow. Well, let's see. We'll look at that coin probably on Monday because tomorrow I won't be posting anything, and Sunday morning is going to be the live show. Be sure, if you haven't already, go check out the 250 sub giveaway video. Leave an appropriate comment for a chance to win a shiny Benjamin. And that live will be Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time. And I believe I'll be having Liberty Bleeds on to kind of do an interview with me. And you can see here, two coins in there. One's in a flip, one's in a slab. And the slab is the one that we're after for today. So a couple of reasons I'm kind of excited about this. One, if you've watched Pirate Stacker's channel, you know that he issued a Morgan challenge for throughout this coming year. And this is going to be my first Morgan for that challenge. And I was really kind of excited. I won this. And what we got is an 1879S. And this is a hole in my collection. I did not have a 79S. So I got this. Now, you can see it is by NGC. It does not have a number grade, but I don't view that as bad. I got this at a reasonable price. And what we will do is we'll take kind of a closer look at the coin, see if we can figure out what's going on the coin itself, what may be just smudges and mars on the plastic. And we'll see what we have. So it does look like it's a 79S with a reverse of 79. That arrow fletching there is slanted. And the pictures on eBay didn't do it a lot of justice, and you can kind of see it under lights, kind of the rub marks on the face and stuff really made it look unattractive. In hand, it actually looks really pretty nice. So let me take you off the tripod here and I'll show you some information real quick. I'll be right back. All right, here we are on NGC's website, and we're all kind of familiar, I think, probably with the grades, 70 through all the way down to a 1. But what may not know is what NGC does for I'm not going to be able to say that. Grades that use adjectives instead of the numbers. So if we click here, we get taken over to this page. And this actually tells us what that means for NGC. And what we got was a brilliant uncirculated. Uncirculated is going to fall here. So that means it's going to be in the range of 60 to 70. And that's a broad range for that. And you can see down here, it says uncirculated is often paired with the additional qualifiers of brilliant, choice, and gem. Brilliant, which is what we have, is just a generic somewhere in the 60 to 70 range, and that's because it was a bulk submission. So if we look at this, we can see the number on it is -034, which means it was the 34th coin in this bulk submission. So whoever submitted it just submitted maybe an unopened bag or something, and they were just doing mass grading, and as long as it fell somewhere in the 60 to 70, it got the brilliant uncirculated designation. So what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be using, if we go to PCGS instead of NGC, one of the things we can kind of look at here is on a 79S, which we'll find right here. So here's 79S. Well, let's do this first. First, we'll go to the grades 61 through 70. Now, this one could be a 60, but we'll do 61 through 70. And we'll come back down here to the 79S, and we'll look, and here's our values for somewhere in the 60 to 70 range. So we can see all the way down to retail value of 80 on the low end, but if it gets to 63, 64, you're hitting the $100. And if you happen to fall in here, you can see it escalates quickly there. So I don't think that this one is going to fall in this end. I think it'll probably be with the marks, bag rug marks and stuff on it. It'll probably be a 62, maybe a 63. I doubt it would go to 64 or 65. But what I thought we'd do, if we scroll back up here, if you've never used PCGS, they have this button which takes you to a photo grade page, which I have open here. And you'll see it gives you photos of 60, 61, all the way through 70. So you can try and look at the photos and determine a grade for yourself. If you click one of the photos, you'll get really close up. I think that ours is better than that one. So what you would do is you just kind of scroll through here until you found one, maybe this one. It has those rub marks on the cheek, a couple little things going on around in the fields. Maybe that one. Maybe that one. So maybe 64 or 65. Probably not a 66. So then what I would do is I'd come back to here, this being like the highest one, and if we come back out to here, so that was a 65, we click on the reverse, and then what I would do is I would take a look at our reverse and then try to see which of these reverses match the closest. So you're looking at both sides of the coin and just trying to kind of match it. Now, dealers can look at this and kind of know what the grade is on it because they look at so many of them. But for somebody like me who doesn't do a lot of grading myself, it's going to take me some studying, and then I'm probably still going to take it into my dealer, my local coin shop, and show it to them and ask what their opinion is, just to see how close my grading was. But I do have my coins microscope out here. So what my idea was is I'm actually going to put this under my microscope, kind of take a closer look at the fields and see if I can point out what I'm looking at and figure out if I can determine a grade here. So I'm going to do that off camera, but I will be right back. All right, so looking in here, one of the things I can see, you can kind of see a few little lines here, but if I catch this right, you can actually kind of see that those are in the plastic itself. Let's see, right there. So you guys see those lines. If you follow that bright light, the lines are in the plastic and travel off of the coin. So that it's not really on the coin there. I was able to kind of catch the light and you can really see nice field. It looks like there's just a little bit of stuff right there that's actually on the field. Just a little bit more around the bottom. And let's see if we can figure out if, I think those lines over there are more that are on the plastic. So we have the kind of the marring bag marks, whatever, across the face there. And we got something going on with the ear there. I wonder. So the other thing that I was kind of excited about getting just a brilliant uncirculated coin, because I was able to get it for less than retail. I did pay a little bit over what wholesale would be. I ended up paying with shipping about $60 for this coin, which, if you remember the PCGS retail, maybe I'll throw it up right here real quick. Even if this is like a 60 or 61, it should be retail around $80. So I did get it for less than retail, but more than wholesale. But part of the fun of this one was I get to try and figure out, well, what should it be graded as well as kind of a treasure hunt, because it's undesignated. We're going to go see if we can figure out what VAM it is, because every Morgan has a VAM. VAM is just a pairing of the two dies for the obverse and reverse. So you can see that looks like scratches, but that is all in the plastic. Looking at it with naked eye and with jeweler's loupe, so I do have a jeweler's loupe, I can see that the scratches are not in the coin itself, and I highly doubt that it would grade MS if it was any type of, cleaning scratches, which normally I would associate those type of lines with some kind of cleaning. But yeah, those are in the plastic. Can see just a little bit of marring in this field right here. The other thing we can do, looks like there's one hit right there under the god, and another one just over here, kind of to the right of the head. a little bit under the United. But overall, that looks pretty clean. If I'm looking at the 65, I think I see just as many Mars and hits. And in fact, here, let me go back to the other screen. I'll show you something. If we're looking here, I don't know if you can kind of see whatever picture they took has some of those same lines running up and down that ours was looking. So I'm guessing that this picture is while it's in potentially in a holder. I just thought that was interesting. But you can see they've got some of the same type of marks here in the fields. Not a lot of marks. This may end up being a 65. I think that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to take it down to my LCS. In fact, I may take it to 2 of them and just see what the consensus is. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think it might be in terms of a grade. So give me a second. I'm going to do some digging. We're going to go to VAM World, and I know that this one, that's one of the things about PCGS, if you don't know. If you come into PCGS, one of the nice things here is you can kind of look. So here's a 79S, right? Well, there's no plus sign here. So what you're looking for is a plus sign like the 79O up here. If you have a plus sign and you click it, expand it, it'll give you like the VAMs that are like the hot 50 or top 100. So if you go to, like, say if this had been a reverse of 78, you look in here, there's a whole list of VAMs that are significant VAMs. So if you don't see a plus sign, that doesn't mean it's not a VAM. It just means it's not one of the really sought after VAMs that's going to change the pricing from what you see here. So this will just be a common, like a common VAM, but you would expect the same type of pricing to hold. So if this is a 65, that means we're in this range here for my $60 coin. If we're down here, then it's retails closer to what I paid. And generally what I find is that PCGS retail is about twice of what wholesale is, like if you were to look at current gray sheet value. So if PCGS is showing 185, to just narrow that, say 200 to 300, then wholesale's probably going to be 1 to 150. So anyways, let me dig into the VAMs and I'll be back when I think I found something. So my first stop here is going to be using the grid line with the mint mark. So we want to get the grid line lined up right under the 2 leaves here, right in the middle of the bow. And then we take a look at the mint mark, and to me it looks like it's right at right on the top serif, and it's kind of tilted and leaning back. So then we go through VAM World's page here. We're looking for anything that is right on that front and leaning back. This one looks like it's close to that front serif, but doesn't look like it's leaning. If you look at where it's at on the bottom, it's going through, right at the bottom of the. And this one, I think, is a little bit to the right. So we just keep kind of looking down. You can see like that one's way off. That one's way off. That one's way off. This one here could be, that one's kind of a smushed mark, so it's harder to tell. I don't think that one's it. I think the top is a little bit too far to the left. That one could certainly be it. So I just mouse over it, check it out. It's BAM 34A. So I'm going to write that down as one to go look at. And we keep looking. That one is close. So 38. That one's really close. It kind of looks like it's leaning back a little bit. Maybe 41, 69. Maybe. I think that one's too far over. Way off. No. There, that one actually looks a lot like ours. So let's go over that. 48A. We'll take a close look at that one. That one's also close, but if you look, it's got this little hangnail on it here. So I don't think that that one's going to be ours. But just in case, we'll note that down, 54. All right, I'll keep looking. We'll come back. So we'll look at the date placement here, and we can see that the date placement is one, let's see, to here. So 1, 2.5 denticles. You can see it's halfway through that one. You line up with the 2 points of the serif on the one, and we're halfway through. So that kind of matches what we're seeing here. 2.5. However, this is not us because we do not have this die chip here. If we slide this up to where we can see under her nose, I'll turn it around here so it's easier to see and orient. So you can see here under her nose, we do not have that die chip. So that is not it. So we'll keep looking. All right. I think I've found it. So this one you can see, now ours, and it could have just been me, you can see this one's really precise on getting the stuff where it should be, but it was right on the serif, and it looks like it's leaning left. And I wasn't able to figure out what they were looking at here. I'll show you something on mine, but what I was looking at are two things. One, here you can see it's supposed to have polish lines inside the bow, and you can see there's this line here. And then I don't know what they were looking at on the ear exactly. And the hair, I always have a hard time figuring out where they're looking at for hair. But then there's this line that's in that leaf, and there's this polish line that crosses the bee. And that is what really did it for me finally. I was able to look on mine, and we can see that line coming right down here through the bee. And then if we look over here, at the leaf, you can definitely see that line going in the leaf there. And then if we look back here at the bow, let me actually get this a little bit closer. You can see those polish marks in there and this line right here. So I think that's it. That means, well, and we are the same on the date, 2.5 denticles. And I actually think that I can see something here. This is right at the jawline. That's called a, what's that called? A cootie dye impression. So it's like a thread, cotton thread or something got caught in there while they were pressing the dye. And if we look at that on here, it's, this one has just enough, let me pull it back down just a hair. Right. So if we look right down here at the jawline, you can just make that out here. But on mine, it's really kind of hard to make out, but I believe that that's it right there. So what that means is we have VAM 36 for the 1879S. Polished 8, cootie impression, SS tilted left. So there we go. That was kind of fun digging into that, and you saw how you use the different websites to help you track stuff down. So I really enjoyed picking this one up. I'll report back later on what grade others think it might be. And this is kind of how I'm going to do and approach my my Morgan challenge for Pirate Stacker. Is I'm looking for holes in my collection that I don't have yet. And whereas most of my other ones are raw, I am going to try to look for slabbed coins at probably a slightly higher price than what the raw are, of course. But I'm going to look for slab coins to put into my collection. So there you go. There is my first Morgan. Let me know what you think, Pirate. Anyways, thanks for joining me. This one's been kind of long, but I hope it was fun for you. And I will catch you next time.